Hello, and this is Bogus Reviews doing another Throwback Thursday with the Hasbro Fang Foom Build-A-Figure. It's really cool. You should check it out. Okay, so today on Throwback Thursday, I'm going to be reviewing the Hasbro Fang Foom Build-A-Figure. And this figure is great. It's got great paint detail, it's got good sculpting, and I like the height of it too. And when you had to buy the figures to get all this, it was broken up weird. It was his head and neck, his upper and lower torso, his legs, an arm and a wing, and you had to buy two pieces of his tail separate. It was lower tail piece and then tip tail piece is how Hasbro actually separated. So it was kind of weird how you had to buy the figures to build it, but it's good. I love this figure. Plus it has that articulated jaw. That is awesome. But my only complaint, not really complaint because there's a plus side to it, is the 6-inch figures don't go into scale with him at all. That would make Fang Foom just a little bit taller than Hulk, who's 7 feet tall. So, this is probably going to make him 10 or 11 feet tall, like, in real life. So that wouldn't work. So, the 3-inch Marvel Universe action figures, if you use them with Fang Foom, it works perfectly to scale. Just lean him right there. That is perfect to scale. So these Build-A-Figures I like to use mainly with my Marvel Universe figures because they go in scale with them, because the 6-inch ones don't, obviously. And another thing is he can actually hold the action figures pretty good. Like if you do that. So it's really good. That is perfectly scaled. And I forgot to mention that this was came out in the summer of 2009. And then you had to wait. The figures for the head and the tail pieces came out in winter of 2009. So they broke them up on top of that. I know I was devastated. I was very impatient to get this figure. But it's a really great figure. I like the detail on it. Hasbro did great with his eyes. The red and the pupil in there. Hasbro did great with that. And the horns. I love the sculpting on his horns. It's like ridged. And the sculpting on that is great, and I like the collar. It's kind of, I always think of like horns like this is kind of like bones. So I think Hasbro did great with that kind of bone collar. And they sculpted in all of his gills and the spikes on his neck, or the fins on his neck. This is a fin. These are spikes, I guess. But I like the sculpting on this. It's all sculpted in and turning it around like that. Hasbro did great all the way down. So I love all the sculpting on this, and up here is an extra scales, they're a different color, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about, is the paint on this. I love the contrast between the colors. It just gives it more depth and visual tone. I really like that about this figure. Like, there's even like some dark green splotches on the light green here, and I like that. It kind of gives it an age. Almost if like dragons like this were real, how it would actually look. This is how I'd imagine like the collar to look on it. And of course they did good on his feet. I like his toes. They sculpted his toes really nicely, and his toenails did great on them. They actually Hasbro actually did kind of a dry brushing of brown over them, like they're dirty. He really needs to wash his toes. But I really like this figure, and with more of the sculpting detail, his wings actually have veins sculpted into them, and they actually kind of have like a leathery feel to them. It's just the way they're sculpted out, and I love that. That is just detail, and that's how I'd imagine dragons' wings to look too, because they're kind of thin, And the paint on these, it's a dark green and kind of goes into light green. It's like it just falls into that color, and I really like this. I can't go on enough about this figure because it's great. Even though it doesn't scale perfectly with the 6-inch ones, I'll show them here. So, Fang Foom's a gigantic dragon. Not actually sure like how tall he's supposed to be in the comics, but, this is perfect scale with him. And I didn't actually show the 2-inch ones with it, the Miniverse from Hasbro, but I'm pretty sure that the Miniverse ones would probably scale even better. Now for the articulation. Of course, he has that awesome articulated jaw. It's just awesome. He's got a ball-jointed head that can... it's back as far as it'll go, but it can move down just a little bit, move side to side. He's got a swivel neck. He's got ball-jointed wings. So you can move them back like this, or out like this, or like that. So you can really position them any way you want. Now that I think about it, they kind of look a little tiny for him. Like his gigantic body and then tiny wings. But he's got ball jointed shoulders that move out really far. He's got a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbow, a swivel at the wrist that can move side to side. And it's a little tough to move it up and down, but it does. It's the same on this side. He's got a ball jointed torso that can move back this far, down this far, and move side to side. He's got ball jointed hips, and they do go out this far, but you really don't need that because that looks goofy. He's got a single jointed knee that can move back just a little bit, but since he's kind of always posed like that, you really don't need that much articulation here. And he's got a swivel ankle that moves like that, and kind of having trouble moving this one. Moves back just a little bit and moves up more. And now one thing I would have liked as a callback to like the classic monster tales from Marvel, I would have liked Fang Foom in his purple pants. That would have been cool if Hasbro would have included, like, you could buy there was a variant for the Savage Grey Hulk, just Savage Hulk. It would have been cool if they would have included his purple pants. Like, you could actually, like, take the back of his tail off and put his purple pants on him. That would have been cool. But I still like this figure anyway. Oh yeah, and his tail. His tail swivels right here. Swivels like that. And then the tip of it swivels too. If you move his arms, it swivels all the way around. I really like that. So this toy has great articulation and great height, and this is a really good Build-A-Figure. And I actually think that other than the new Warlock wave that's going to be coming out pretty soon, I think this is the tallest Hasbro Marvel Legend, if I'm recalling correctly. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure this is the tallest one other than the new Warlock one that's coming out. So this toy is great, and I would highly recommend it. Especially, like, only if you're, like, into the Marvel Universe toys. This is perfect for it. If you're wanting it in scale with your 6-inch ones, they don't scale perfectly. Well, they don't scale perfectly at all. But for the 3-inch ones, they scale perfectly. But I would highly recommend this toy. It's great, and Hasbro did an awesome job doing this. So that's my review. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week with another Throwback Thursday.